Welcome back to Empire of Rust. It is not the first and greatest Transformers RPG podcast, but you know what? We're still pretty damn good. I am joined for this session by the indomitable Dr. Pants.
I think it's time to kickstart our hearts, baby.
Nice.
The magnificent Matthew.
Hello again, everybody.
And the bodacious Brandon.
Hey, gang! I'm so happy to be back.
We had one hell of a last session, and you know what? I don't think any banter is appropriate right now. We're just going to jump right in because we have a huge role-playing decision that Brandon needs to make.
Let's go.
So, quick recap. Perceptor and Harness are both in the hazardous materials lab here in the workshop. You have an infected human, infected with the hate plague. Hate plague. And Harness, you see that human. The humans escaped containment, broken the bonds of their prisoner ship. And they are running right towards Perceptor. Now, thankfully, you managed to burn a story point and do a reroll so you actually notice this happening instead of the human just running up to Perceptor and, oh well, it happens. But now you have the choice. You can either try to push Perceptor out of the way, risking exposure to the virus for yourself, and probably Perceptor as well.
Yep.
Or you can choose to get out of the lab and hit the button that will sterilize the room. Walk us through your state of mind here. What's going on?
I've been thinking about this nonstop since the last session. So I think that Harness, he's a smart guy, right? He's a scientist. He has a certain vernacular, but he processes things very quickly. And he looks at problems like defects in a machine that needs to be fixed. There are problems to be solved. It's all about the right tool for the job. A slightly meta question, Mike. If I choose to have Harness try to push Perceptor out of the way, is the push sort of a given, and the real test is, do I get hit with the hate plague by sort of interposing myself? Or is it like one of those things where like that's still a test to push Perceptor? Because because I'm gonna say my toughness defense, great, but that will not help me if I get touched by this human. My evasion defense, not so great. So that's sort of what I'm worried about. So like, if is the pushing of Perceptor out of the way, is that something that I will sort of like, that Harness thinks that I can do this? It's more of a question like, do I get hit by the hate plague?
Yeah, I'll say that since Perceptor doesn't know anything about it, you effectively have you're completely hitting him by surprise. He's not prepared, he's not balanced, he's not braced against you moving him. So if you attempt to push him out of the way, you will be able to get out of the way. But again, since the human is rushing towards him, you are effectively going to interpose yourself. Not intersperse.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Break apart to a million pieces.
You're going to interpose yourself between the two of you. Now, maybe you get infected, maybe you don't. Or I should say, maybe you get touched, maybe you don't. If you get touched, maybe you're able to beat it back. Maybe you don't.
Maybe I cut off the limb that gets touched.
Yeah, I was about to say we Rick Grimes this. Okay, so this is all happening extremely quickly, but Harness is sort of like breaking this down in the milliseconds between and doing quick calculations. There's a good chance he could use his grappler to grab this human and restrain them to give Perceptor and I a chance to get out. But that's an if. And Harness right now, with the stakes at play, I think is only working in absolutes. The only thing he can guarantee is getting Perceptor out of the way. Perceptor is the one who I think has the highest chance of finding a cure. So he does a quick calculation, measures the risk and reward, reaches up for that grappler from his toe hook, from his alt mode, and then stops himself, and he's gonna surge forward and push Perceptor out of the way.
Bold.
He cannot risk Perceptor getting infected. I will, since this is a new session and you said we get a story point per character, I will burn a story point to add +5 to my evasion defense before this human attacks me, because I assume toughness is not going to help me, because if they touch me, I get the hate plague, or I have to roll to detract it. So I assume evasion is going to be the thing, so I'm going to add 5 by burning a story point. I'll mark it here on my little notepad, but yeah, I am going to just be like, Perceptor, look out! And I'm going to jump forward and just push him out of the way. And just sort of like, Primus, I hope this works!
Good choice, though.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that I could have made a better choice.
I would have shot him.
Perceptor, the human!
There's more.
You don't see that little gnome in the background? That dancing guy? I'm gonna shoot him.
Not the gnomes again. They followed me to a different game.
Yeah, that's a reference for any of you listeners.
Okay. Bold, a heroic choice, you might even say. Tell me, what is your evasion defense with the bonus right now?
So my speed is 3. So normally my evasion defense is 13. With the +5 by burning the story point, I'm up to 18 evasion.
It's quite good.
Okay.
It's not great, but it's not the worst.
No, it's pretty good.
And it's against a human, so I'm hoping I might be able to escape, but really what is most important as we deal with this hate plague, and Perceptor is our best bet. So
yeah, at least if you catch it, maybe he can cure you.
Yeah. I was just like, Perceptor, quick! Disinfect the room! Get out of here!
Okay. So I am going to be doing a might test against you.
Okay.
I've already done my D20 roll. It's a tweener. It's kind of right in the middle there. But because of the hate plague, anyone infected with it also makes 2 upshifts on might skill tests.
You're saying no, they might get upshifts, right? They don't have to.
Nice.
They might get upshifts. Okay. That's the first one.
What about this guy hasn't eaten in a week?
I don't think we would have starved him.
He's fueled by rage.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a good question. Can these things feed themselves? So.
That's true.
It is a very, very good question that we are not going to deal with right now.
The wise decision, GM, old buddy.
All right. Now, because you pushed him out of the way, I am going to say that you are going to take a penalty on your evasion because you are, well, I'm not going to say that you are fully prone. You are not in a position to easily defend yourself. I'm not going to remove your entire speed bonus, but I will say that it's going to be a -2 for it.
So I'm at 16.
I rolled a 13 on the D20, a 1 on the D2, and a 3 on the D4 for a total of 17.
But you rolled a 13 and a 3?
Oh, 16. So that still hits me, though.
16.
Yeah. That hits me with a -2.
13 plus 3. 13 plus 1
Don't
plus
be
3.
adding them all together, DM.
Well, why are you doing
that? That's all the time when we don't notice.
16, right, 16.
Yeah,
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. We're still getting used to the system.
Harness, I need you to make a very important brawn skill test.
I have a quick question before he rolls this.
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, are we aware that this has happened now?
This might be too fast. I don't know, but yeah. Let the GM.
I'm gonna ask the two of you, Sopwith and Kickstart, and kind of be honest about it as well. Would you, as Perceptor and Harness are kind of doing their stuff in the lab, would the two of you be around?
I wouldn't be anywhere else. This is where we get stuck.
Yeah, I would be concerned about what was going on because I'm fully invested on them finding a cure. And also, I'd probably want to stick around and make sure they were safe in case those Decepticons from earlier broke into the lab or someone else broke in from somewhere else.
That's what I was worried about.
All right. I'm fine with that. So if you want to be either in the lab, near the lab, whatever the case may be, yeah, absolutely fine. If that's the case, if you guys actually want to potentially participate in this, I'm going to have all three of you roll initiative.
Sure. Harness got a 1.
Oh, that's a pretty low number.
That's the lowest you can go. But that would that regain a story point?
Did you roll a 1 on the d20?
I did. I don't know if you can technically fumble initiative, so maybe it doesn't apply.
Everything's a skill check. They're all skill checks. So.
Yeah, but it doesn't say in the rule book anyway. It says skill test fumbles, not a die result of 1. So you have to let it fumble.
You have to fail if you.
Initiative.
I don't know if you can't really fail or succeed in an initiative check.
Right. So I don't know if that. I don't think a 1 on initiative would gain a story. So.
Right. I'll say no on that one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Suppa's got a 10.
Kickstart got a 19.
Nice.
Okay. So the order is going to be Kickstart, Sopwith, the Human, and Perceptor, and then Harness. So Kickstart, why don't you go ahead and lead us off on this one. First thing I want you to do is make an alertness test just to make certain that you can see, hear, or otherwise perceive what is going on right now.
Can I have Pommel assist me in that?
Yes.
Upshift it 1.
I am absolutely okay with that. Absolutely okay with that.
I rolled a 1 on both die.
Oh no, that's a fumble.
Now we're getting
that's one hell of a fumble.
It is. I always forget to roll with Energon points. Can I re-roll that with that or no?
I think it might be too late.
Yeah.
You can use a story point to re-roll a result of 1.
You can do that.
Take the fumble. If you take the fumble, we gain a story point, or you can re-roll the 1.
Correct.
Anybody okay with me burning a story point to redo that?
I don't mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say let it rock. Go for it.
Okay. I'll burn a story point and redo that.
We're down to 1 story point.
It's not amazing, but it's better. 11.
Okay. Because Harness went and bashed Perceptor out of the way, I will say you do hear the noise of something really big impacting with something really big.
The toolbox just fall down the stairs.
So Harness has pushed Perceptor. Has the Human touched Harness yet?
Yes.
Oh, even though it's not his turn?
Well, because, yeah, that's already happened. I think now we're sort of like we're in the moments after he touched me.
Effectively, the Human got a surprise round, and because Brandon used the story point, he was able to react to it appropriately.
Could I rush over there and toss a concussive grenade in there to stun the Human so that he doesn't get out and touch anyone else?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is that an athletics check to do that?
Yeah. So yeah, my understanding, and Mike, check me if I'm wrong. It's so you get to choose a point that you aim at, and you hit that spot, and then your athletics test is the attack roll that everyone in that range has to defend against to be hit by the grenade. So if you want to aim it in such a manner that that the human is the only one within that range, you could, and they're the only one in there. That's my understanding of the ruling for grenades in the system.
So we'll say I'm going to throw the grenade somewhere that it's just going to affect the human, not Preceptor and Harness, unless that's impossible.
What's the radius on the grenade?
10 feet.
Yeah, 10 feet.
10 feet. Okay.
If you stun them, it's all right.
Yeah, if I have to take the stun damage, that's fine. I'll recuperate the stun damage, but yeah.
Can I also yell out as I do it for them to prepare themselves for it, and maybe that gives them a bonus?
Sure.
To not taking the stun damage. Okay. Then I'll speed over there quick, and I'll just yell out, "Harness, Preceptor, cover your sensors," and I'm gonna throw it in. And 16.
16, I believe it's like, that's right, it's versus their,
whichever, toughness or evasion, our choice. I am currently prone, I think, from diving, which won't affect my toughness per se, but my toughness defense is 16, so I think I will take the stun damage.
Well, that's a good question. Is it prone?
I'll say that you're on one knee, so you're not fully prone, but you're not gotcha. Ambulatory as easily as
sure.
You would be.
Yeah,
and also I did warn you and tell you to cover your sensors.
Right. So if that gives us a bonus to our defenses, then that'll make a difference for Harness.
I'm willing to give. Let's see. Yeah, I'm willing to give you guys that wouldn't be an upshift. That'd be because it's defense. Yeah, I'll give you a +2 for your defense. That's fine.
Okay, cool. So that'll give me a high enough toughness to sort of withstand the blast of the concussion grenade and not take any stun damage.
The human. Let's see here. Just making certain that it doesn't have, or the hate plague doesn't give them any benefits to that. No. No. So no extra benefits to defense. So I'm going to say that the stun will affect the human, and it's going to knock them unconscious, or is it just it just gives them a stun condition?
Well, they're stunned for a round, I think. But if
the
stun damage equals their remaining hit points, then that would knock them out.
Yeah, they would be defeated, but stun is explicitly non-lethal.
So
it's sort of the system's version of non-lethal.
Yeah, if they only have one health, then they'll be knocked out. Because I think it's probably just stun 1, right? So.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna do something that I haven't done yet.
I hate that grin. Get out of here.
You might not be aware, but the GM also has story points.
Yeah, he does.
And the GM can use one of those story points to give a +5 to the defense of one of the enemies. And I am going to do that to make certain that this human stays conscious, stays active, stays moving around a little bit, and keeps things exciting.
There's a little text bubble that says Brandon will remember this.
You're bumping up the toughness?
Yes. Yep. Just like you guys can add 5 to any defense, the same thing I can do the same thing myself.
Oh, so as the rules lawyer, as assigned by the GM, it is +5 before dice are rolled, or +1 after the dice are rolled.
I am still going to do it, but because it is bending the rule, I will give you a story point as recompense for it.
Okay, fine. This one time, GM, I say that with no ability to reinforce that threat. You have all power here. Okay. All right. So we have 2 story points instead of just 1. Right.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Basically, it was everything I just did washed.
That's okay. I think it was a worthwhile effort. All things said.
Man.
I mean, stay out of the room, guys. Don't expose yourself. We're still sort of contained.
Do you have many move actions yet? Because you need to grab Perceptor and drag him out.
Well, I have. So here's the deal: is I have more movement because in bot mode I have 40 movement.
Yeah, you're speedy.
And so I could drag Perceptor out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use your free actions to do more.
Yeah, that's true. You have like what 6 free actions,
basically.
So
yeah.
that's like an additional 30 feet of movement.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
Or other things like
speed in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also burn some of those free actions for an attack or something, right?
I could, and I do have a pile driver that stuns.
That means that you're gonna have to go. But you have to go in there right next to them, don't you?
Yeah, I would say
my pile driver's extended. It's got a 10-foot range.
Right, but if the human goes before your next turn, you potentially could get exposed. If
Well,
he gets a high roll.
I could burn a free action to do the attack this turn.
And then
That's
use
true.
your remaining 4 free actions to drag Perceptor out.
Perceptor out if it doesn't
Yeah,
work.
give it a shot.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah, your call, man.
You know what? Screw it. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Rock and roll, baby.
I am also going to burn a mass shift.
Ooh.
To upshift a skill test for this round.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
And oh god, I hope I roll well.
Stack
What does
those
that
up,
look
kids,
like?
man.
As you sort of like use your transforming to up. Are you upshifting your pile driver attack?
Yeah. Basically, I'm just upshifting. Like I'm upshifting the pile driver attack through a mass shift and just
Nice.
yeah. And I get to do it 2 times per day, and I think I've only used it once this whole game, so it's
Nice.
been multiple days.
He sort of like adds like an extra digit of like articulation to make his arm hyperextend for this like.
And I could burn an energon point to upshift it again, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. Let's do it once. Do it once more. Pile drive this thing.
This human's about to get rocked by the Cybertronian pile drive in the face.
15 total.
It's just the human. It's just
is
the
it
human.
an evasion
Maybe
or a
it's
toughness?
whatever his pick.
Yeah, it's my attack's finesse, so it's whatever.
Yeah,
he picked.
defender gets to pick highest unless an ability determines that you get to pick the defender's defense.
All right, so describe to me what is actually like happening here. So your arm is turning into a giant pile driver, and you're just
Well, I have a pile driver as a weapon, so I kind of like run in and just point my arm near the human and just and like shunt the pile driver out at its speed. I'm assuming because if I did hit this thing, it would kill it.
It could be like the shockwave of the pile
Yeah.
driver that sort of like sort of knocks on. I got you. Yeah.
Right. So and
Okay.
and I'm 10 feet back, and I just slam it into the ground, sending a shockwave to disrupt the ground and hopefully potentially stun it.
Nice.
okay.
And what I'm gonna do just without even checking to see if I've stunned it is I'm then gonna immediately like spin around, grab Perceptor, and speed my way out of the room.
Nice.
Okay.
All in one fluid motion.
Important question. Does your pile driver come in contact with the human at any point?
No, I'm aiming for the ground,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
the human.
Okay. Smart. Very smart. And you said it was a 15?
15, yeah.
15.
Which I don't think hits because
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but I don't think it hits.
What does that GM's the evil star point still count? Or is it just for one?
Or does
attack?
it only count for that one?
I think it
attack?
counts for a roll.
Yeah, it is. It is just for one. So it
It's not like
it will
a
not have
shield
to-
spell.
So you might be able
Oh,
to
okay.
hit him.
So you bring your pile driver down right on the ground, shockwave right in front of the human. The human puts his hands on his head. You think you kind of knocked him for a loop. He staggers back and falls down. You don't know if he's stunned or not, but he's certainly incapacitated for at least one round.
That's all I can hope for.
Yeah,
That's all I
take
can
it.
hope for.
I think we've learned something too.
Mm-hmm.
I think so also. And then I grab Perceptor by whatever part of Perceptor I can grab and just like
little scope thing.
Don't pull.
I grab him by his
That's not my eyepiece.
I grab him by the lens and I'm like, let's get out of here.
No, not clean it.
You smudge up his lens. All right. Yes. Easy enough to grab Perceptor because Perceptor has been knocked over. He is prone, so he is just going to pull him down. Not a problem. Okay. Good. Sopwith, you are up next. I need
Okay.
you to also make an alertness skill test to see if you know what is going on.
It's all happening very fast.
I mean, if he dashes into there, I'm probably gonna have a clue, but let's give it a go. I rolled a double one. Number one. Alright.
Just like Scott did?
Yeah.
But it's not an alertness.
Odd.
Yes. May I use the story point, gentlemen?
Yeah, if you want to, we've got two of them. We regained one, so if you want to use the one, so I mean, I guess. So here's the thing: if we don't use it, we'll gain another story point. If you let the fumble go.
But I
'Cause
won't
I'm
get
curious
a,
of,
I won't get an action this turn probably because I don't.
Right. I guess I'm
just
sort of thinking about like what we can do because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to whether I can withstand the hate plague. Like the human is sort of like stunned for a second.
I mean, what I'm thinking might depend on being able to act immediately. And I don't know if it'll
Yeah,
work
I mean,
or not.
if you feel like you've got a plan, I would say go for it.
I don't know
like,
if it's
story
a plan,
points we can
but
potentially
it's an
regain.
idea. I don't think you're
It's,
like
it's something that resembles a plan.
Get the human in the box. Get the human back in the box.
No.
What's in
Okay.
the box?
All right, I'll re-roll this sucker just to have a chance.
All right.
No, I got a 3, so I'm not participating. I got a 4 total.
So you did see the kickstart running, so you think that something is definitely going on, but you're not certain what. So what I'm going to let you do is you can move into the lab or move into the doorway, but any actions you take for this round are going to be with a downshift.
Okay. Better than nothing. All right, I'm going to run over to Harness. Now, a couple of important things. Presumably, this thing touched him on the leg.
Yep, makes sense.
Now, is the red stuff sort of stuck on his leg at the moment? Is that where it is locally?
You can see it moving up from there, yes.
But right now, it's on his leg.
Yep. I'll say that it's probably right about at his like knee level, maybe a tiny bit higher.
All right. Second question. This containment room has an emergency door, right? I imagine it closes rather fast and rather powerfully when we activate it.
You would think so.
All right. So I'll grab a handkerchief and grab Harness by the nose and pull him out just to the point where his leg is in the doorway and nothing else is in the doorway.
Okay.
And then I will hit the emergency close button on the lab thing.
Okay.
We might need your sword, so stand by.
Yeah.
You know what?
Sorry if I
You know what?
broke there.
I'm going to allow it because I can't
Fantastic.
I can't think of any test to really that's useful for this. Was the door going to make a might roll? Fuck that.
Yeah. Harness is not going to resist. The most he's going to do is sort of like look alarmedly as you reach to touch him. But other than that, he's not really going to resist anything.
So yeah, Sopwith, you grab Harness by the nose, you pull him to the doorway, leaving one of his legs, the infected leg, kind of in the doorway. And just to make certain, you grab his other foot and kind of lift it up so he's like pointing upwards, and then you slam that the clean room button and or the emergency protocols button. The door slams shut, tearing through your upper leg, Harness.
By the pit!
Closes right through, seals up, and you can see that the edge of the door, it's apparently a lot sharper than you expected. It just was cuts right through.
I'm very sorry there, chap. We had to get it off, though, UCC. It was it or the honest of you.
I appreciate that. Oh, the bueno that waits.
All right, good. So kick starts up with Harness and Perceptor are all out of the room. As soon as, or second after you hit the emergency button, you hear an automated response. Clean room protocols active. Sterilization in 30 seconds. Evacuate facility. Repeat.
What about the human?
30
Humans toast.
30
I
seconds.
looked at Receptor.
Sterilization protocols active. 30 seconds. Evacuate facility. And it just repeats the repeats the message.
Like, questioning sort of like look like what does that mean?
The room is going to be flooded in fire and acid, then sterilized at 1000 degrees. The whole facility is then going to be sanitized and locked down until Autobot High Command unseals it. This is to prevent the spread of infectious agents throughout the city. We need to leave immediately, otherwise we will be trapped in here.
Turn it off!
Why'd the door close if it's going to destroy us out here, too?
We gotta turn it off. We can't let all of our research go to waste. We'll kill the human.
You can. Perceptor will tell you that. I mean, you can try to effectively hack the door and kind of like bring it back in, but the idea is that it is a hazardous materials protocol. So the system thinks that something really infectious, really bad, has gotten out, and that room needs to be sterilized.
Can we make like a technology check to sort of override?
No, I'm not going to give you a chance to do that. I say, kickstart. Grab his research and help Perceptor. I'll grab Harness by the back of his scruff of his neck and like throw him over my back shoulders.
Yeah, is the whole lab being sterilized or just that clean room?
From what you're seeing or from what you're hearing, it looks like the lab the facility is going to be something's going to happen.
Dang
to
it,
the facility.
Wheeljack! This is Wheeljack's fault.
Good news for you though is like since you have Perceptor, like all the research, he knows the research as well. He knows what he's been doing, and even though he's been using the computer equipment to deal with it all and to help, everything that he's discovered, he knows. You're not going to lose any of that.
And Perceptor, lead us the way out. Harness
will be like sort of like reaching and sort of like calling us like, but the human.
I'll just shove a piece of leather in his teeth.
Yeah.
Bite down that if you're in pain.
Can I transform into my bike mode, and can we put Harness on me?
I guess
he's missing a leg.
As long as if he fits,
I can't
sure.
transform anyway.
Yeah. So he should be able to fit.
I think so.
Yeah. He might be a little big, but that's okay.
I mean, you can have Perceptor lead you guys out as well, but you also know the way out. You've been in the facility for a while.
I'm not letting him go right now. So
yeah,
you can transform if you like, but I'm going to carry him.
Okay, you carry him then. I'll just we'll just get out.
So yeah, you guys head out. You rush out as quickly as possible, and you make it to the entrance to the laboratory, or Wheeljack's kind of workshop here. And with about 5 seconds to spare, the outer door closes down, and you can hear a lot of commotion inside. First, you kind of feel this like big shudder, and you think that whatever happens inside the hazardous materials lab itself is probably that has went off. So fire, acid, whatever it needed to do to completely sterilize and clean that room from any possible contaminants, that has gone off. And you think that the rest of the noise you're hearing is probably the rest of the facility going into a cleaning cycle. So not as extreme as the hazardous materials lab, which is probably just incinerated at this point. But there is the rest of the facility is probably getting like all the air is like being evacuated out, sterilized down. Effectively like soap and water kind of wash, or it's a non-destructive cleaning cycle, but you think it's gonna be a while before this whole process finishes, and it's effectively sterilizing the rest of the facility to just in case anything else was released.
Well, if those Decepticons are hiding anywhere else in the facility, they could be squeaky clean now.
A setback, certainly. Harness, for you, a story point for that excellent, heroic maneuver you did.
Yes, many props. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I took off your leg.
No worries. I'm happy to lose a leg. That can be repaired. But I think Harness in this moment is, we don't know exactly what has happened in there, but he seems pretty torn up at the loss of an innocent human, I think. For all of his sort of like grouchiness, I think he truly believes in like the Autobot sort of like edict to protect humanity. And I think he doesn't say anything, I don't think, but he's just sort of like, his steel fist sort of tightens, and sort of like as sort of Sopwith puts him down, he just sort of like slams it into the ground, and is sort of shuddering, but otherwise doesn't say anything.
I completely understand, my friend. I've seen similar things happen to thousands and thousands of people, but we can't let that slow us down when it comes to a choice we have to make when there's no other choice. Just glad it was only one instead of many, many millions, because it would have been many, many millions if you hadn't saved Perceptor. And Sopwith is a lot of experience with this sort of thing. I mean, especially
I was about to say World War I, World War II vet.
Especially World War I. I mean, he's seen a lot of people lose limbs and wander around, not to get too much on it, but he's seen a lot of humans get blown up or burned or everything you can think of. So it's sort of like he takes it a personal responsibility to get Harness out of there, since he was responsible for getting his limb chopped off. But at the same time, it's also his personal responsibility to save who he can save, and not kill us all for not saving who we can't save. So he's not any less upset about it, but it's sort of like he's a lot of experience in this area. So.
Hell yeah.
All right, so kind of to review on this one. So yes, you did lose the human, and you lost whatever like physical samples that you have there. But the research that Perceptor's been doing and all the progress that he's been making hasn't been lost, because Perceptor still knows all this, and he could potentially, if he's able to kind of get set up somewhere else, he might be able to kind of continue with this. And he'll even say this, kind of reassure all of you.
I understand what just happened, yes. And it is a setback. But take heart, none of us have been infected. None of us have been injured or ceased functioning. Our research is still viable and intact.
And he points to his head.
I think that we simply need to locate a new facility or find some place where we can make use of this information. It might be beneficial to try to get to Autobot City. I hesitate to suggest it, but the facilities there are exceptionally advanced, and it may be the only place on the planet left to us. I'm just not certain about the status of the city above or how the journey there is going to look to him. As we head back to the surface, I believe there will be enough raw materials at the machine shop to build a replacement leg. It will, at the very least, get you ambulatory.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Hold on, I'm leaking energon here. I assume I at least took a damage from losing a leg. I will mark that on the character sheet. And then I know that we need to build a leg, but for the time being,
but I'll take off my bull bar and one of my props, and sort of tie them together into a crutch. So he
Sure,
can use
I
that.
could even use my scientist skill. Like, so the scientist, as a gadgeteer, I have the construct perk. I can build weapons, armor upgrades, or kits. Mike, would it be reasonable that I could construct like a peg leg, go full Thundertron, and construct like a sort of like a stand-in sort of prosthetic for me to walk on, even limitedly, in this moment with the gear that I have on hand?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me a technology test.
Yeah,
Sure,
big
so
leg.
I'll spend
Has
it.
his upper leg, so
I'll spend an energon as the ability requires. Then I'll make a technology skill test. As a machinist, I do gain an edge on technology skills to repair or upgrade Cybertronians, and then I get a D6 on technology. Hey, that's pretty good. 18 technology.
Yeah, I'm not certain what the difficulty on that would be, but I'm sure that an 18 is more than enough to.
It would basically
popular.
be like based on requisition of whatever I was trying to build. So a peg leg would be probably pretty low on there. So I was sort of like take some scrap metal out, maybe even grab some like scrap metal like that was sort of like scattered in this area.
Yeah.
Sort of like use like an energon like charge to sort of like for like a welder to sort of like cauterize my leg real quick, and then sort of like attach this like piece of scrap metal. It's nasty looking, but I can sort of stand on it. And it's like, well, I won't be winning the Velocitron 500 anytime soon, but I at least can walk. And I'll look to Sopwith and sort of like, thanks.
Oh.
But he just after he says that his eyes just sort of go to the ground. He still seems sort of,
I'll put my hand on his shoulder. I understand. I mean, you're not to blame here. Believe me. I know you would do your utmost. Yo ho ho, chap, and a bottle of rum.
Just keep on moving on.
Sopwith will play a dirge on his harmonica while we go down the hallway.
Nice.
So yeah, you. Who wants to be in the lead? Kickstart. You want to lead us off on this one?
Yeah, I'll lead us out.
Yeah,
and I'll have Pommel ready just in case. But
good call.
I'll lead us to the garage.
Yeah, we'll see how the Decepticons are doing. We'll see how desperate they are after 4 days without an energon slab.
Mm-hmm.
That's because do we meet them on the way out?
Yeah.
Actually, I would say like as you're heading out, the Decepticons are no longer there. So they either found someplace new to pull up, or maybe they're at the garage. Who knows?
Does it look like there was a struggle or anything, or like they got out of here really quick?
Give me a quick alertness test.
10.
7.
Brandon, were you doing one?
I think Harness is probably right now not focused on that. He is focused on moving and not succumbing to grief.
Gotcha.
Pommel got a 17.
Damn.
Nice, Pommel.
So Sopwith and Kickstart.
Sharp eyes.
You don't notice anything in particular. It doesn't look like a struggle or anything like that. And Pommel specifically notices that there's nothing left down here. So it looks like whatever they had down here with them, they packed up and took it with them, which seems to indicate that it was a planned departure.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right.
I mean, we've been in there for like a week at least, right? So
About
Couple
like
yeah.
4 days at least.
Yep, on the fifth day this happened.
Yeah.
Kickstart, you continue leading through, and you eventually get to that garage.
Have we gone up the lift yet, or we're just at the lift right now?
We'll say you're just at the lift.
Can I make an alertness check to see if I hear anything in the garage above us?
Absolutely.
9, and we'll have Pommel roll 2 since he's here.
Let's do it.
And he got a 15.
15.
I'm at a 19.
Pommel's MVP right now. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's better.
All right, Kickstart, you don't hear anything in particular up there. Sopwith and Pommel, both of you are kind of listening close, and you hear silence. It's a suspicious kind of silence. Like if there was anyone up there, you think that there would be at least some, some kind of movement and stuff like that. You might hear footsteps here and there, but you're convinced that there's no one up there. There's nothing up there.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Why don't one of us go? Maybe I can go up first and see what it's like before we all go up.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I need you to stay here, guard all our pals here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if something gets close, you're the guy to handle in a close situation.
You head up. I can stand on my own now.
All right.
All right, stop with you. Get in the lift, press the button, and the lift slowly lifts you up.
I'll make sure I have my machine pistol out and everything.
Yep. You get into the main part of the garage, and you can see that the big garage door that you had put down and that Kickstart had welded shut is blasted inwards. So it is effectively a gaping hole now.
But inwards towards us.
Yep. So whatever did this was from the outside.
Alright, can I get an idea of what it might have been? Any footsteps or...
Go ahead and give me alertness. Alertness or survival.
Do alertness. 16.
16. It looks like it might have been weapons fire that did it. You're kind of looking at it. You're just taking a kind of a quick look right now, and you can see that there's one big hole in it that's kind of like big enough for like bots to come walking through, and then along the edges you can kind of see like smaller holes where like blaster fire came in. And as you're looking around, you also see that there are signs of a struggle in here.
So there was a fight inside here too.
Yep. But it does look clear right now.
All right. Well, I'll send a lift down again and shout down there. There's been some fiddling about up here, but it's quiet now.
Heard.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get on the lift and.
Lift brings you up.
Now peek outside the big hole and see what's the city look like outside. Is there anyone around?
You don't hear or see anyone in the immediate vicinity.
All right.
Kickstart, Harness, and Perceptor. All three of you get up there. Pummel as well, of course.
Nice.
And you can see that, as Sopwith probably told you, that there are signs of a struggle. You can see. Sad to say, but the body parts of Transformers in here. It's important to note they are not infected, though. It looks like just shattered remains of Transformers.
Like, oh, is there a spare leg?
As long as it's got if it has a functioning wheel with a tire on it, I'm down a tire. So I'd love to have one back.
Go ahead and if you want to spend like a few minutes in here, I won't have you roll for it, but if you want to spend a few minutes, you can go ahead and examine like everything around and see what's up. And Perceptor's a big help with this as well, kind of just getting like the forensics of the situation. You can piece together that there was certainly a firefight in here. Most of the and you can tell that these are the Decepticons that were in the tunnels that you interacted with. And yep, you can see some of the couple of Decepticon badges that are left over. And yeah, they're quite clearly not functional anymore. There is enough pieces, you think, that if you do want to kind of put a leg together, it's going to take you a bit of time to do it, but yeah, you can do it.
Any of the legs have a tire attached to it, as if like from a vehicle, like a ground vehicle alt mode?
High or low, good for you.
Let's go high.
Let's see, that is a nat 20, so yes.
All right.
Nicely done.
right. One of these boys might have been a aspiring Stunticon.
Gentlemen,
So I'll see if.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. No. Yeah. Go ahead. I didn't have any dialogue. So.
Okay. I'll just say to the team, gentlemen, this is interesting. I'm not sure, but if there's no infection here, that means the question is who attacked them and why. And are the factions fighting again outside because of all the unrest? Even can anyone tell? Can we tell from the weapons fire that we see, like what kind of weapons they were and who would own them, or is it too difficult?
Were they red lasers or blue lasers?
I'll roll this over for you as well. You can tell that it was likely a group of infected probably managed to break in and kind of shoot their way in and attack this group. And just based on the number of corpses and pieces, you think that the infected probably got a couple of them before the fight ended. And with everyone, either dead or not there, they left.
So it's interesting, like maybe the parts don't necessarily carry the contagion with them once they've passed.
So they died. They died, but they made their might check. Is basically, I think, what happened, right?
Yeah, it was like a brawn test.
They somehow, because last time we saw the guy smash the bits, and then he rose up and walked off.
That's true.
Presumably, I guess in some circumstances they can kill people without. Maybe they shot them and they didn't actually.
That's true. They do use blasters, so it's possible these guys could have gotten blasted apart without getting necessarily infected. I'll see if Perceptor can assist me with the application of one of these Decepticon legs that seem that it would interface with my alt mode with relative ease, maybe not perfectly, but enough that I will not be impeded by it.
Yeah, we don't want you walking around in circles.
Yeah. So I'll sort of detach the peg leg.
So this is going to take a little bit of time to do, and Perceptor absolutely can help you out with it. While the two of you are working to kind of get yourself back in a mobile condition, I will say that your comm units, since you're now out from the underground and you're in an area where you can receive signals, your comm units are picking up a signal from the Autobot emergency frequency. It's a general distress signal across the entire Autobot network.
It's the AEF.
Yeah, the comm channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn that on.
Okay. Press the button, and Optimus Prime's face appears on your comms.
Oh.
Now, is he supposed to be dead?
He is very dead, yes.
So. Yes.
Oh.
Pretty much this indicates that Optimus Prime has generated the distress signal. He's the one who is sending it out.
And it's just a visual. There's no audio message with it. It's just a picture of Prime.
So now,
Optimus Prime, not Rodimus.
Right. So it's again pretty much it's a general distress, like a general distress SOS signal, and showing Prime's face just to indicate that this is who is sending it. If you want to, you can try to connect with the sender of the signal.
Absolutely,
110%. Is there still the communicator panel from the garage that we used to? Can we use what we used to communicate with Perceptor down in the bunker below to connect with this, so that we can communicate with Prime via that sort of panel?
Or a regular communicator's okay.
I'll say that if you want to use the comm unit there, we'll say it survived the fight.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That way we can all sort of talk at once without talking individually into communicators.
Just FYI, before too much time spent up, I'm going to set up my long range rifle at the hole.
Okay.
So anything that approaches within a mile or something like that, I'll see it and I can shoot it. And
good call.
Smarter guys can deal with the communication.
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, Kickstart, you link your comms into the main mainframe here and activate the signal. And Optimus Prime's face shows up on screen.
This is Optimus Prime. I'm sorry that I don't recognize your form, but it's good to see an uninfected Autobot. Please identify yourself, young one.
Optimus, sir. Kickstart. Stationed on Earth, reporting in. It's an honor to be addressing you, sir.
The honor is all mine, especially to meet a brave bot such as yourself. How did you survive? Are you safe? Are you in a secure facility?
I'm currently with 3 other members of my squad and Perceptor. It is myself, my Target Master Pommel, Harness, Sockwith, and as I said, Perceptor. We're in... Crap, what city are we in?
Mission City?
Yep.
We're in a garage in Mission City. We have just left the underground in one of Wheeljack's labs, and we're stationed here.
A bit of a mess in there, by the way.
The lab may not have survived. There was a potential contamination, so we escaped. The garage itself has been breached. There is a hole in the door. We were just about to leave and potentially head to Autobot City. We have been fighting our way through this, avoiding infection for the better part of a week or 2 right now. We first saw the infection. Was it the Hoover Dam?
Yeah.
The Hoover Dam? Yeah.
I didn't give a name to it. It's just a dam in Mission City. You can name it if you want, though.
Okay.
It's the Triage Memorial Dam.
Yes, at the Triage Memorial Dam. We went back to our base. Our commander Catapult. We brought him back, but he was unconscious, and then we went looking for Perceptor at the behest of Rodimus. And we got to do some research on an infected human, or Perceptor, and Harness got to do some research, and thankfully Perceptor still has that research looking for some kind of cure.
Have you found a cure? Did Perceptor make progress on a treatment for this plague?
I'm gonna turn to Perceptor and let him talk.
Okay. And Perceptor will kind of summarize everything that he's been doing research on. And yeah, he'll kind of give his hope for it, and also what he thinks he needs in order to successfully synthesize a cure. And once that's done, because I'm not going to roleplay with myself.
Well, you don't want to do that online for all the viewers?
That is excellent news. I also have a plan. I managed to reclaim the matrix of leadership from Rodimus Prime, and I'm going to commune with it. I believe that the collective wisdom of our forebears may provide a solution to this plague. But if I'm not successful, then Cybertron must be warned. I want the 3 of you and Perceptor to find a way off the planet and warn them. Omega Supreme might still be unaffected, and if he is, he must also get away from the planet before he is taken. Or you could try to find a ship in Mission City. If there is a way off the planet at the port, then use it. Since Perceptor has made some progress with synthesizing a cure, I believe that getting him back to Cybertron will give him the resources he needs to save it, if we can't save Earth.
I guess Harness will sort of step forward and is like, Optimus Prime, sir, it's an honor to see you functional. We will fulfill this objective. Where is Omega Supreme currently located?
I'm afraid I don't have an answer to that. I've only recently returned to Earth. He was typically stationed in the Badlands of Southeast Oregon, approximately 300 miles southeast of the Ark. But I have just discovered that the Ark was destroyed some months ago. I cannot tell you his current location.
Would that be something that we might have in our data logs back at our base here in Mission City?
Potentially. Also, I think you can. I think I'll give you either a technology or a culture test as well if you want to try and find any more information about that. I don't think you need to go back to base to do it, but yeah, you can. You might be able to find out some more information.
So we can search here. Before we do that, if anyone else has any other questions for Optimus or for the pertinence of our objective,
You go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Kickstart first.
Prime Sir, it's an honor to see you, considering I never thought I would have the chance to meet you myself, but I do have one question. How have you returned?
That is a long story that we sadly don't have time for. But I have this Quince arson to thank for my restoration. And Sky Lakes are delivering him here to repair me.
He kind of steps back and gestures towards a Quintesson that's standing behind him.
I believe it was Rodimus Prime's last order to Sky Lakes to find this Quinson. Unfortunately, both Rodimus Prime and Sky Lakes have succumbed to the plague. The 5 of us may be the last uninfected Transformers on the planet.
Then we'll make sure we get Perceptor and his potential cure to Cybertron. We'll come back and we'll make sure that if anyone can save Earth, it's you, Prime. But if all else fails, we won't let you down.
Forgive me, Mr. Prime. Definitely an honor to meet you, but forgive the impertinence, but is there any proof you can vouchsafe that of your genuineness?
There was that time that Starscream dressed up as you.
I remember that well.
No disrespect, Mr. Prime, sir.
To just add a little storytelling here, I do have something I can ask him. It's sort of vaguely defined, but there's something he'd know about that went on during World War One. I don't know if he was alive. Was he even conscious then? In the
No,
19...
he would have. The Autobots that were in the Autobots and Decepticons that were in the Ark woke up in 1986. So anything that
84.
happened. Say again?
It was 84, wasn't it?
What? 84. You're correct. Yes. Sorry. So he'll know anything about like world events from 84 forward. You can also, I think that's like the big thing you can do. Like, he would know 84 forward, or he would know ancient Cybertron. Don't forget, they were like offline for millions of years.
Yeah, I guess there wouldn't be any way. I mean, if he would have been awake, he would have been in on it. He wasn't. So I'm trying to think of some of the secret organizations, but.
I'm afraid there's nothing I can say over comms that would guarantee my legitimacy or authenticity.
He will step back for a moment.
All I can do is show you the matrix of leadership.
He'll open his chest panel, and you'll see that the matrix is sitting there, and you guys would know that Rodimus Prime was the last person to have it. So.
All right, forgive me, but we need to try to be as safe as we can here.
I understand.
All right, gents. All right, I was going to say your priminess, but that's a magnet.
Stop with the serious soldier.
Very well. We won't fail you there, sir.
I have full confidence in you. Till all are one.
Till all
All
are
are one.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, come on.
Sticks a good